Hi, I'm Jenny Wanasek.
And I'm Mark Weinberg.
And together we are the Center for Applied Theater. And first, before we start, we just want to thank Arts4All for all the great work they do bringing arts to everyone and for setting up this program, and we want to thank you for watching. Today we're going to introduce you to a fun game that you can play with people in your house and play it on the screen with other people in other places. We're going to introduce you to activities we call Image Circle, and finally we're going to teach you a game called Storyboarding that you can do when the video is over. So we involved 3 generations in this process, from someone who is almost 4 up to 72. And if you have Zoom, Skype, or FaceTime, or some other platform, you can involve as many people as you want.
Image theater gives a chance for young people and adults to express emotion, to be creative, and to have a real release. And for young people, that's a chance to be physical and emotional without being at all disruptive. And the games are a lot of fun. If you can take photos of what you do, it's even more fun because you can share them, or like we'll show you later, make picture books out of your photos.
And because there's no right or wrong way to do this, everyone, no matter their age or physical ability, can take part.
So we're going to start off by showing you a warm-up game, and it's called
Pop In. Now you can play this with people who are in your house, or even better, you can play it with other people far away on the screen. So, to begin, let's just start by shaking out our body and getting ready. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is hide behind a piece of furniture or behind a door. And the first person is going to pop in, and they're going to say the name of someone else. So it's going to go like this. So I'm going to say, Mark.
Jenny.
Mark.
Jenny.
Okay, you can see how boring this is with just 2 people. But I recently played this with 9 people and it was a blast. And it works the same way on your computer screen. If you're doing it on the computer, you just leave the frame. You go out of the picture. But you want to stay nearby so that you can see the fun of the people popping in.
Now, here comes the complicated and challenging part. This time when we pop in, not only are we going to say a name, but we're also going to say an activity. And then when the person comes in, they have to do that activity, and while they're doing it, they have to say somebody else's name. So if I come in and say Jenny, okay, all right, let's do it.
Okay.
Ready?
Mark, quacking like a duck.
Quack, 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 quack. Jenny, brushing your teeth.
Oh, I've got to get them really clean. Mark, flying an airplane.
Jenny, riding a bicycle.
Mark, floating like a cloud.
So you can see how it goes.
And when you're doing it on the screen, you're just off the screen until you pop in, say the person's name, and tell them something to do. And then you get out quickly, and they come in and do it. It's a blast. Now, when you're playing that last game, it's really a good idea to remember to use your kindness. If you're giving things to a young person to act out, you'll want to stick with things like be a puppy or a kitty. If you've got an 80-year-old, do something that they can physically do, like drink a cup of tea. If you've got teenagers, give them something really hard.
So we're going to move on to the next game. It's called Image Circle. Now we're just on screen, but we call it Image Circle because when we play it in a group, everybody stands in a circle and faces the center. So here's how it works. One person says a word, and everybody sculpts their body in response to that word. And that's what we call an image, that sculpture you do with yourself. So we'll all be standing in a circle. I, for example, will say turn, and everybody turns away. Watch Jenny. Now she can't turn away from the circle, but she's turning away from the screen. Now I'm going to say a word, and the word is pencil. And Jenny has to make a sculpture. The first thing that comes in her mind about pencil. It doesn't move, because sculptures don't move, and they don't talk. And then when I say turn, she's going to turn back in, and she'll see what everybody else did on their screens or everybody else did in the circle about pencil. Then I'll say turn away. And another word I might say is ice cream. And she'll turn in, and she's eating an ice cream cone. Now, there's no right image, there's no wrong image, and you can relax. I wish you had an ice cream cone to share. But you can make any image, whatever occurs to you. The important thing is that it's the first thing and it means something to you. It doesn't mean anything, necessarily mean anything to anybody else. Although we'll talk at the end of this about how we can use these images for conversation and to discover things about each other.
And you can play the same game online. You can play it on the screen. So if you're doing a Zoom call, you're all in your separate box. Someone says the word, and everyone, after having turned out, will turn in with their image. And everybody gets a chance to look at all of the other images. Then you turn out, and the next person says something else, and they'll say, turn in. Everybody faces their screen, and you get to see image after image.
So we played this game with our families, and we weren't able to record our Zoom, but we did get pictures of what everybody did. And so we'd like to show you what they did, and then it'll be your turn. Ice cream. Summer. Fear. Excitement. How do you feel right now?
Now you notice that in those images that our family did, some of them are realistic, some are abstract, some of them you don't know what the people are doing, but it doesn't matter because it's whatever somebody wants to do. So now you're going to get a chance to play this game with us. So you and whoever else is in the room with you should turn their back so we can have a chance to make an image. And the first word is teacher. So make your image and keep it the same, and now turn it in. And you can look at the other people who are in the room with you. You can look at ours. Great, relax and turn out. And Mark's going to say a word.
The second word is present. Present. And turn in. I bet you some people are getting presents, some people are giving presents, some people are surprised. I hope you like what you got. And turn out. Jenny, you get to say a word.
Okay. The word is anger. And turn in. And look around at the other statues. And turn out.
I'm going to go for the opposite. The word is peace. And turn in. And turn out.
All right, you ready, Mark?
I'm ready.
Okay, the word is bored. And turn in. Peek around at the other statues so you can enjoy what other people are doing. And then go back to what you're doing. And relax and turn out.
Our last one.
You're going to play this one, right?
I'm going to play this one too. How do you feel about staying at home? And turn in. And relax, shake it out.
All right. So you can see there's lots of different expressions of the same word. And when you're done, if you want, you could ask somebody to redo an image. Maybe you didn't understand it. Sometimes it's fun to have someone redo an image and have everybody else in the room shout out what they think that they're doing. And then you can ask the person what they were doing at the end. Let them talk last though, because once they say what they're doing, then nobody else can see anything else.
So that's our image circle game.
And I just want to remind you that you can play this on the screen. That's the important part of this whole video. And these are things that we can play with families that are far away.
The next game we're going to play is called Storyboarding. It uses images, but it's a lot more complicated and a lot more creative, and I think it's a lot more fun. So the game starts with a story. You can tell a story you read, or tell a story of your family, or even make up a story if you'd like. We really like stories where one generation tells a story about what they did to another generation. So for the story that we're going to show you and talk about, we started with a story from when I was a little baby, and it's about my mother and my uncle and I. First person tells a story, and then everybody else who wants to gets to tell one. Then you pick a story. The next thing you do is decide what pictures might tell that story. You might want to think about it like a comic book. Okay? Each picture is important, but what happens between the pictures is not. So then you would have people pick the roles they want to play. The fun thing about what we did with our family is that our 4-year-old granddaughter decided that she wanted to be her great-grandma. So she gets to play her great-grandma, and her mom, our daughter, gets to play her uncle. But you'll see that in a minute. So you pick the roles you want to play, you pick the scenes that are going to be in the story, and then you make images or pictures. Now, if you're all together in the same room, you can make a group picture. If people are in different places and you're doing it on screen, one person after another can add in their little part of the screen until you have a picture of that part of the story. And you do that until you get to the end. It's really fun to take photos of those pictures and to use them to make storybooks. Now, this is a place where everybody can share, and where when one generation tells a story to another, it helps build empathy, it helps build understanding, and it really helps people want to know more about their own families and the people in them. So here's the story that we used for our family.
So the story we're going to tell is one that Great-Grandma Phyllis loves to tell, and we thought it would be fun for Maddie, our 4-year-old granddaughter, to hear it. So, a long time ago, when Mark was just a little newborn baby, he lived with his mom in New York City in a 5th floor walk-up. And for those of you who don't know, that means it's 5 flights up and there's no elevator. So one day, Great-Grandma Phyllis was looking down at the baby in the crib, and she noticed that the baby was really sick, and she was really worried. So she called the doctor, and the doctor said the baby's going to need some medicine. Well, after Great-Grandma Phyllis hung up the phone, she looked out the window, and it was a blizzard. It was one of the worst blizzards of that whole winter. There was so much snow that the cars couldn't even drive in the street, and she didn't know what to do. She just had a baby. She couldn't walk down 5 flights of stairs and take the baby out into the cold. So she called her uncle, and she told her uncle what was going on, and her uncle said, "I'll go get the medicine for the baby." So he put on his coat and his hat and his scarf, and he trudged out into the cold. He had to walk a mile to the pharmacy through deep snow. So he got the medicine, and then he had to trudge a mile back through the deep snow and the cold. And when he got to the apartment, he had to go up 5 flights of stairs. He was really tired and exhausted. When he got to the top of the stairs, he could hardly breathe. But he opened the door and gave the medicine to Great-Grandma Phyllis, And she was so grateful, and everybody was happy because the baby was going to be safe. And now you get to see the images that our granddaughter Maddie and our daughter Ari made of the story.
What can be lots of fun is to take all the pictures of the images and put them together into a storybook.
So the first thing you have to do is to take the pictures and turn them into JPEG files and import them to whatever word processor you're using. And along the way in this process, you or your kids can add captions to the photos, or you can add balloons with dialogue. You can write this in by hand and fill it in, or you can use processes that the computer has to do this. And we just want to show you a picture that we took from our story.
To make a graphic story coloring book, simply open a photo in Photoshop or any other photo program, change it to grayscale, and then choose a cartooning filter. We use Find Edges in Photoshop. Manipulate the photo to make it a little bit lighter, and there's your coloring book.
So there you have it. You've got Pop In, Image Circle, and Storyboarding. So these are 3 new games that you can play anytime. So the next time you're with your family, try telling a story and making images. I bet you'll learn a lot about each other.
And when you're doing that, if you have any images you would like to share, please email them to us at contact@centerforappliedtheater.org. That's contact@centerforappliedtheater.org.
We'd love to see your pictures. And thanks for watching our video.
We hope you enjoy the games.
As we find ways to adapt to our current situation, we would like to remind you about the creative community in the city of Milwaukee and beyond. Arts at Large and other organizations that provide meaningful experiences in the arts to our students, families, and community members are experiencing unprecedented hardship. If you are able, please find ways that are most comfortable for you to support Arts at Large and the arts community. Whether it's a financial gift or a like or share on Facebook, it will be deeply appreciated. The Arts at Large Storytime will be featured every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Make sure to tune back in on Saturdays at 10 a.m. for an interactive arts experience hosted by Milwaukee's artist community. If you are looking for more information about Arts at Large, please check out their website at www.artsatlargeinc.org.
In the meantime, practice social distancing
And wash your hands.
and stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.